We can't hear anything, Sister Sharien.
Hey, oh, hey, yeah. Oh, yeah. Welcome to our 33rd episode for the 4th year of Mind and Money Matters live show. Praise be to Allah. We are coming to you live from Master the Science of Business. You still not hearing me? Okay. We are coming to you live from Master the Science of Business, Mind and Money Matters live show, and the Ministry of Trade and Commerce. And we stand to bring to you the best and worst business practices so that we can avoid the pitfalls and benefit from the wisdom of the success of those who are doing business successfully. And all of them that we have interviewed, which Brother Jahi will give you that definitive number of the number of people. I think we'll still have to guesstimate because sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 2, guests each week for the past 4 years that we have been bringing this live show to you. We have been bringing to you best and worst business practices from young, seasoned, experienced, neophytes, however, all coming together to share the wisdom that they have experienced, understanding from Message to the Black Man by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad that we are never to be taught, as it is written in the original charter of Howard University, the science of warfare, which the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us is business, and the science of birth control, which we know includes the science of mating. And so there is no wonder why we have deficits in these areas: the science of business, the science of mating, and the science of warfare. So without further ado, I'll bring to you our dear brother Jahi, Mr. Communicator Muhammad. He is, as our Sister Sandy Beauford Muhammad calls him, our very own logophile, which is a lover of words. We know that he is a prolific reader, researcher, and he does not call himself a historian. However, we rely on him to give us some historical information at times. And so he tends to share with us valuable information and follows many of our great historians. He is the founder and CEO of Fallah Worldwide Seminars and Training, and he will be bringing to us the Fallah Worldwide Word on the Block. Brother Jahi? Okay, let's see.
I am going to do my best to bring the Fallah. Where I know I cannot do it like brother. I cannot do it like brother.
Do it, Sister Sandy.
So I'm gonna do the Sandy.
I introduce you.
Okay.
Yes,
That'll work.
Right. And then when Brother Jahi come in, he's gonna do as he normally does and just sweep us off our feet with all this phenomenal information that's going on in our communities near and far. So while we are waiting on him, we will bring on our dear sister Sandy Beauford Muhammad. He calls her I'm gonna try not to mess this up, Sister Sandy. The eco-nebulogalist.
All right, I don't feel bad now. Oh my God. They are always laughing at me. Ergo-kinesiologist. I don't feel bad today because I mess up words all the time. I don't feel bad.
Don't feel bad. She's that word that she just said.
I love it.
But we call her the spirit lifter. She's our energizer. She is the one that keeps us on track emotionally and spiritually. She has taken her passion to the next level and making sure that she is uplifting all those that she touches through soul wisdom soulwisdomintl.com. Soulwisdomintl.com. That's Soul Wisdom International. Our dear sister Sandy Beauford Muhammad.
Thank you, Sister Sharien. Oh my God, I am so excited today. There are so many reasons to just be tremendously grateful and thankful in this day. You know, I was thinking this morning when I woke up, today is a Monday morning, right? And a lot of times when we wake up on Mondays, we don't have the energy, the enthusiasm that we need to make it through the day and the rest of the week. Either we have done so much over the weekend because we didn't have time to do it during the week, and we just exhaust ourselves. So I'm going to tell you something. I took me a nap this weekend. Sometimes you just got to take a nap, okay? If you feel that your body is telling you because you run so much, you need to take a nap, take you a power nap is what they call it. An hour nap, 45-minute nap, and then get up. You will be a better person. I promise you, your family will appreciate that. But what I didn't like this weekend is my baby girl, she walked in the room and she recorded me while I was napping. Now, thank God she ain't shared it with nobody. But I was snoring. I do not snore. Y'all knew I needed that nap. She came in the room. She said, Mama, she said, I didn't know you snore. I don't usually snore, but I needed a nap, y'all. So I'm saying all of that to say, if you need a nap, take your nap and you will wake up being a better person. Okay. I just wanted to add that little piece because I just thought, I said, oh my God, come on now. Sometimes I feel bad when I need to take a nap. So anyway, take your nap. The other thing I want to share with you is at Soul Wisdom International, I am so excited about the Inner Chambers Women Retreat that's coming up. It is so near and dear to my heart. Oh my God. If you haven't heard the video that I'm sharing about Saturday evening, the moments that we're going to be sharing in very intimate setting where you will be feel so comfortable, so relaxed, so rejuvenated. We're going to sleep in an environment that's very loving and very compassionate. If you've ever been around women, sisters, that just, you're vibing on the same level, y'all understand, it's like we here together. Can you see me doing that? You know, when somebody do that, like we here, yeah, that's exactly the experience that we're going to have Saturday evening. There's a lot of stuff. My beloved sister Sharien is going to be there doing her vision boarding with the third eye mind mapping. I am just so excited. If you've never experienced Sister Sharien's third eye mind mapping, all I can say is it's so much more than a vision boarding. You really get into depth on who you are, where you want to be. And I haven't even asked her how she's going to do this one. So I'm just going to be surprised at it because I know it's going to be powerful. We have very good, very motivational speakers, someone dealing with women's concerns, women's issues, womb care. Yes. You can go to the website. You're going to go to soulwisdomintl.com. You're going to click on the event page. You get a description of all of those who will be sharing wisdom, information with us. You go to the page and you'll see the beautiful pictures of where we're going to be. It's just simply breathtaking. And then you'll get an opportunity to see the schedule. It says tentative, but we have finalized that. So we do need to update the tentative schedule. That is the schedule. And the dates are next year, May the 8th through the 10th. So you can go right on there and register. You don't have to pay the whole amount up front. If you don't have the whole amount, you can do your deposit. And we'll work with you through the first of the year to get it all paid off. But you do need to go ahead and register, get your seat, because it's only limited to 40 participants. And we are halfway there, y'all. So make sure you go ahead and reserve your spot. Now, in our beloved brother, Jahi is back on the line. So I'm going to go ahead and bring him up. Yes, thank you so much, Sister Sharien, for showing the accommodations for the retreat. Very lovely accommodations. If you go ahead and get in now, you may be able to have a room by yourself. If not, We will assign a room for you with the beautiful, beautiful sister that we know you'll be able to get along with. However, if you definitely want a room by yourself, you need to go ahead and register while we do have a few rooms left that are single rooms. The price is the same whether you do single or whether you do double occupancy. That's how they bill us. That's how we have to invoice you as well. Thank you so much for that, Sister Sharien. And in the Nation of Islam, we have a phenomenal event that's coming up this weekend for our beloved brother Abdul Rahman Muhammad, who transitioned a few months ago. We'll be having his, I think it's called, what is it called? It's not the Janaza. We already had that, but it's going to be a beautiful time at Muhammad Mosque, number 15 here in Atlanta on Campbellton Road, where you will be able to come, and I believe you'll be able to share moments of memories that you have for our beloved brother Rahman. Just a beautiful time. So please come out and support the efforts at Muhammad Mosque number 15. Also, brother minister, student minister Sharif and sister Sharifa on Wednesday. I tuned in last week, y'all. Every Wednesday, I believe it starts at 7, between 7 and 7:30. They go Facebook Live. I know you can pull it up on Sister Kanetta's web page, but you can go on and you can hear them talking about relationships around husband and wife, and around blended families. You even have an opportunity to present your questions. So I was I watched it via Facebook Live. I was very, very impressed, very happy to hear the conversations, and they ask real conversations. So I don't believe you have to be in the Nation of Islam to attend that Wednesday class. So if you have a relationship question, you have concerns with reference to relationships, please go out to Muhammad Mosque, number 15, Campbellton Road. It used to be the old movie theater. Brother Jahi, I know, will come in with it. There we go. Oh, yes. There we go. Here you go. Oh, my God. Last week was phenomenal. They are there every Wednesday talking about relationships. So, oh, you going to play something? Oh, Sister Sharien, you going to play something?
I was just pausing so they could see, but, maybe
yes.
Time for the show where we can place a segment. But I was just showing where they can get it.
Okay, beautiful.
I would concur. It's powerful.
Yes. Oh my God. Absolutely powerful. To bring your attention with just a tad bit. I know our beloved brother Jahi, the co-founder of Master the Science of Business, My Money Matters Radio, will bring us all of the 411 info on what's going on you get the heartbeat of Atlanta and beyond. So he will bring us word on the block. Brother Jahi, a fly worldwide. He repositioned himself. I'm telling you, the partners on Master the Science of Business, My Money Matter Radio, I'm telling you, I wouldn't trade them for the world. Because brother done relocated, do you hear me, to his office, his number 2 office, or number 3. I know he come from us from all over the world. Sometimes he's coming to us from the hotel room where he is crisscrossing the state, doing that work that he does, helping workshops and bringing workshops and facilitating workshops. I'm telling you, we don't know where he's going to be today. He might be in Atlanta. I don't even know. Brother Jahi, are you in the city? Or are you out? Where are you today? Give us the word from around the world today.
Okay, is this better? Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Assalamu Alaikum Business Scientists. Welcome to another episode of the definitive podcast for Black business Bodaciousness. To your point, Sister Sandy, I just got back in town. We went down to South Georgia this morning to handle some business. So I'm coming back in, and I was trying to position in a place where I thought the ambiance was a lot better, but that didn't work. So here I am in office number 5 with the car, which I don't like that much. However, it seems to be giving the best reception. So business scientists, as we jump right in, thank you all again for joining us. Thank you. I want to thank personally all of those who share our posts, who make comments. Those that see us out and about and be like, yeah, I watched the podcast and, love what y'all are doing. We really appreciate you all. We started this podcast so that we could help get the word out about the brilliance and the bodaciousness of those minds around us that's in our atmosphere. So we thank you all for having us spread the word. As you know, finalcall.com, finalcalldigital.com, finalcalldigital.com. Sister Sandy said, what's happening in the world? You get this paper, you get the final call, you find out a lot of things that are going on in the world. You get a perspective that you may not necessarily get from, not necessarily, let me rephrase that you will not get from other newspapers. I read 5-6 newspapers a day, all of the ones that everybody like to reference: New York Times, USA Today, Atlanta Journal-Constitution, Washington Times, all of those. And they do not have the perspective that you will get from the Final Call newspaper. So go to finalcalldigital.com and subscribe. We had the webmaster on with us last week of finalcalldigital.com. Brother Banah C. Muhammad was with us last week. So go and subscribe, or if you'd like to get your physical copy of the Final Call newspaper, you can come to 3642 Campbellton Road. That is the Southern Regional Headquarters of the Nation of Islam. And as a matter of fact, tonight, all brothers 16 years or older, we have a community-oriented class tonight. Our FOI class is open to the community. All men from the ages of 16 and up, you are welcome to come out and get a glimpse of what we are learning, how we're learning to make our communities a safe and decent place to live, and how to take care of our communities, ourselves, our families, and our nation. So you can come out and join us. That starts at 7:30 p.m., 3642 Campbellton Road tonight. You're welcome. So bring your neighbors, bring your nephews, bring your friends. Finalcall.com, finalcalldigital.com to subscribe and to read the paper. Finalcall.com to look at some of the articles. As a matter of fact, Sister Sharien, Sister Sandy, there's an article in this week's Final Call that's right down our boulevard on page 5. Black business, Black consumers, a necessary alliance. By Sister Rasool Muhammad, who is the managing editor of the Final Call newspaper. Dynamic information about Black entrepreneurship. So finalcall.com, economicblueprint.org. You know, last week I found a quote that I mentioned that was giving credit to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and he said, we cannot compete in business unless we unite and get some of this earth so that we can produce our own people's needs. 5 cents a day, 35 cents a week, $1.40 a month, $18.20 a year. So we can get some of this earth for ourselves and we can produce our own people's needs. Don't forget also, business scientists, on September the 28th, Saturday, September the 28th, we are shutting down downtown Lithonia for the first annual Black Dot Cultural Arts Festival on Saturday, September the 28th from 1 o'clock p.m. to 7 o'clock p.m. If you are a creative, you make jewelry, you do paintings, you do any type of artistic crafts, you are welcome to apply to be a vendor at this dynamic festival. Text 404-519-3107. Text your name, your email address, and mention that you heard it on Mind and Money Matters live show, and there may be some little discount that you can get. Just throw our name around, see what happens. I can't promise you nothing. Just try and then report back to us and let us know what happened. But we plan to be there. If you are a children's book author, you are wanted as well to be a vendor at this auspicious event. And I almost forgot. Remember, this month, the book of the month is Developing a Business Mindset. Developing a Business Mindset by Sister Sharien Muhammad of More Awareness Now and child.com. Developing a business mindset is a great starter for all of you who are interested in starting a business, or if you have already started a business, how to cultivate that mindset to be even more successful in your endeavors. All you have to do to invest in your copy of this book by Sister Sharien A. Muhammad is you can send a $10 cash app to $master business. Dollar cash app to $master business to receive your copy of Developing a Business Mindset, which is the book of the month from from Mind and Money Matters live show. And having said that, I think that's a great segue. I think I lined it up just good, so I can introduce, if she hasn't already been introduced. Has she been introduced already?
No, sir.
Okay. So, perfect segue. And Sister Sandy, you missed it last week. I have a new title for Sister Sharien. She is our raconteur. She is our raconteur. In addition to be a raconteur,
I love it.
In addition to being an author, a publisher, a professional counselor, a business owner, a mother, a grandmother, and the 22 other positions that she holds. Now she is our resident raconteur. So those of you who want to know what that means, you can look it up. RACONTEUR, raconteur. So welcome to Mind and Money. Welcome my co-host and co-managing partner of Master the Science of Business, Sister Sharien A. Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum.
All praises due to Allah. I'm still trying to get the eco-kinesiologist out, and now I got ergo kinesiologist. I'm saying eco-kinesiologist because I got economics on my mind. It's just like, the power
wrong with that.
Building wealth. That's what we talk about here on Mind and Money Matters live show. As thank you so much, Brother Jahi, for giving that illustrious introduction. Okay, so basically, focus on the children is just building the esteem of our children, exposing them to ways of pooling resources, cooperative economics, starting them very early with that process so that it will be easy breezy as they go along. And then this is just a little bit from Agrichild and I Am the Seed of Greatness. I don't know, it looks like it's just going to keep on buffering, so we might not get to show it this week, maybe next week. And then I want to make sure that, as Brother Jahi mentioned, building or developing a business mindset, that we are focusing on making sure that we are spending our time wisely, organizing our time. The way he described me is like, I'm like, just like, all these different places. However, everything is interrelated. It all has to deal with building the human spirit, the mind, the body, and the soul in every single aspect of what I do. So I am focused on that, and I work with parents and children. And so then I have Brother Jahi. Are you going to bring in Brother Rasool?
I'll bring him in, Sister Sharien. You done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Awesome. Well, we have the pleasure of co-hosting with our beloved brother Rasool Muhammad. Let me do him some justice because he is over Global Apprenticeship. That is a program that they have been running for many, many years now, and we are honored to have him in this. Can you all hear me, Sister Sharien? What happened? We seem to have some technical difficulties going on over here. What is going on? I don't know if you all can hear me. There we go. All right. Good. Okay, here we go. Okay, listen, I'm telling you, when we're doing some phenomenal things, I tell you, the internet, everything just has a mind of its own when it starts doing what it's doing, y'all. We are so grateful. Can you hear me, Sister Sharien?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, praise be to Allah.
I fell out. I knew it was happening. I was trying.
Listen,
I was trying to stop it.
I'm telling you, we are tremendously grateful to have our beloved brother Rasool Muhammad here on the show with us this month in science and technology. We are so grateful to have him on. He is representing Global Apprenticeship. Brother Rasool Muhammad, he is director of special projects in Global Apprenticeship. He has been utilizing this stream of interest for young entrepreneurs to expose them to what entrepreneurship is like. Going out, reaching out to our young adults and letting them know that they too can be a business owner. They do not have to wait until they are much older in age. So we are so grateful for the initiatives that they go out into the community. And there we go. We're so grateful for the initiatives that they do in a wide variety of fields. Yes, in farming, in the medical field. If you are interested in, Sister Sharien has pulled up the website, but you are welcome to go to our brother's website, and he will share a little bit more information on some initiatives that they are in fact doing right now here today. You can go to Global Apprenticeship. There you go, globalapprenticeship.org. Thank you so much for being on the air with us this month, Brother Rasool. Welcome. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you all for having me again. I'm driving as always.
Busy man. We are so grateful that you could find it in your busy schedule to come on the air with us during this month. Brother Rasool is you are new in this position, am I correct?
No.
Not okay.
For a while now.
You've been doing it well, last year we had a beautiful representation for the Ministry of Science and Technology, and this year we have a beautiful representation of science and technology. So welcome, Brother Rasool. Anything going on that you'd like to share with us about?
Well, yes, I am new to this Ministry of Science and Technology. That is correct. Excuse me, I thought you were talking about global. So
oh no, sir. No. We're talking about science of the month that we're in.
So yeah, I was a member, but now they asked me to actually take over. So yes, I am new in this particular.
Oh no, Brother Rasool. Now I know you've been with Global Apprenticeship forever since its inception. Now I ain't gonna get that wrong now.
Mix it up a little bit. I was wondering. I was like, hold on. So,
oh no, sir. No, we're talking about science and technology. No, sir. We're talking about science and technology. Share with us what you got going on at Global Apprenticeship.
Well, we just had the event this past Friday on the 23rd, and that was focused on the fiber optics and aviation. And so the event was a success, very well. We had a lot of youth and adults come out. The adults had the chance to really put in for a position the fiber optics companies so they can get started, just off of a crash course. And we had this one young girl, she was in there, she was about 13 years old, and she was out doing the adults and putting together the fiber optics and the wires. She actually did her thing. It was pretty nice. And we do have some photos of the event on Facebook, and a few on Instagram as well, on Global Apprenticeship's page, and also my page. That went well. Also, we're setting up our next meeting regarding what I spoke about last week, dealing with the land and the solar farms. And I also wanted to make sure I mentioned that, and I know you guys had the opportunity to speak with Mr. Maceo Brown with System 5 Electronics. And so I wanted to make sure I shared that this is a great opportunity to really plug in and get your system with a Black-owned company, and also do it through the nation, through Muhammad's Mosque 15 and support.
Okay, Brother Rasool, you're breaking up a little bit. We definitely want to hear what you're saying. If you could repeat what you just said with Brother Maceo Brown, you were breaking up a little bit.
Oh, yes, I wanted to make sure that I mentioned the initiative with Maceo Brown for the raising of funds for House Mouse 15 and support. But if you sign up with a new membership for System 5 Electronics, $50 of that membership will go towards the Nation of Islam's Muhammad's Mosque 15 building fund. And that's next week.
Okay. Brother Rasool, I think I'm going to repeat what you said because it's very important and you were breaking up a little bit. You mentioned that Brother Maceo Brown of System 5 Electronics have a signing bonus for Muhammad Mosque number 15. Anybody that signs up with System 5 Electronics, $50 of whatever, there it is, Sister Sharien got it up. $50 of whatever that is, that Mosque number 15 gets a signing bonus for their building fund. Is that what you were saying?
Yes, if you have the flyer, we have an actual coupon for it. We have a flyer for that. And we want to make sure that you get the flyer out to the members so they can use that flyer to donate.
Okay, so if there's anyone who's interested, and I hope you are interested in getting a home security system with the #1 minority-owned security system here, I think it's in the country. If I'm not correct, okay, they're the #1 minority-owned. Okay, that is phenomenal. So you can go to Sister Sharien. Will we be able to post that to our Facebook page?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if they're okay, beautiful. So give us about 24 hours to post to our Facebook page the coupon that you can utilize to when you get you're gonna get the system from somebody anyway. Why not help Muhammad Mosque number 15? Why not help an organization that's helping the community? So thank you so much for sharing that with us, Brother Rasool. You can go ahead and continue. I wanted the listening audience to be able to hear that part of what you said.
Oh, yes, definitely. Well, that's really all for me right now as far as what's going on. I've already shared actually there's something else. So I did share, we're dealing with the solar farms that we can set up on land. And also there is an opportunity for youth and adults to get involved in IT through our IT training course that is upcoming, where if you are unemployed, you can get involved through the workforce. We can set it up. All you have to do is contact me or contact one of our associates at either Global Apprenticeship or Project Outsource Connects for IT training. And you can get that for free.
Awesome. So they can go to the website and they can leave a communication with you via the website. Is there another better way, or is the website the best way?
You can leave it via the website, or if you want to contact me directly, I do have my email there. If you want to contact me directly, but you can do it through the website as well.
Beautiful, beautiful. And if you're wanting to contact our beloved Brother Rasool directly, send him an email to make sure he gets your information. You can do it at Rasool, RASOOL, at globalapprenticeship.org. Awesome. Thank you so much, Brother Rasool. We know you on the move. Stay tuned in as long as you can. We have some phenomenal guests that are coming on the show today. All right, who we got coming up? Who we got coming up next, y'all? We can't hear you, Sister Sharien. I see your mouth moving.
I was calling Brother Jahi to come on in and introduce our next guest.
All right, Brother Jahi, we know you in your number 5 office. We know how it is sometimes. Are you available, or did you want us to go ahead? Send us a message. I'm telling you, it is such a beautiful thing when we have partnerships, because everybody just step in and do whatever it is that they got to do. Like, I need to get up and get my thing, because I don't went there.
Salaam Alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yes, our first guest of the evening, as we highlight the Ministry of Science and Technology, is a sister who is a civil engineer. We are honored and happy to introduce Sister Rashida Muhammad, who is a graduate with a BS in civil engineering from the University of Illinois, Chicago, a recent graduate. And while she was at the University of Illinois, Chicago, she was very active in the NSBE chapter. So those of you who are not acclimated to the terminology of the engineering world, NSBE is the National Society of Black Engineers. And she was very active in that chapter, bringing various programs to her campus through the NSBE chapter. Now she is an assistant engineer at a large construction company in Washington, D.C. So our sister is pursuing her career as a civil engineer right now as we speak. So we're honored to have, for the first time and hopefully not the last time, Sister Raashida Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Welcome, welcome, welcome
Thank you.
to Mind and Money Matters live show. How are you this evening?
I'm good, and you?
Oh, doing fine. We're just trying to deal with some of these. It's a rainy night in Georgia. Let me put it like that. So it's posing a few little challenges, but we must persist. We must persist. So, Sister Rashida, you know, I got to tell this backstory because hopefully he's listening. So I reach out to our guest that's coming up, and we may be able to bring them on at the same time. Reach out to Sister Kasima, who is a big supporter of Mind and Money Matters live show. She's been a guest on our platform before. And I said, okay, I'm looking for some sisters in the science and technology field. Sister Kasima sends me this humongous list. All praise is due to Allah. There's a lot of our comrades that are doing great things in the science and technology field. So I see Sister Rashida is a civil engineer. Now, in the backdrop, I get a phone call from my brother in Chicago, who I've had the pleasure of working with closely for at least 12 years now, right? And he tells me, he said, yes, the sister that's going to be on your show Monday, that's my daughter. I said, oh, praise is due to Allah. And I had not spoken to Sister Rashida yet. So I'm telling him to put a good word in for us. You know, let her know that we got a budding show. You know, we know she's a big time professional now, but we're, you know, we're trying to do this thing the right way, highlighting the brilliance in our among us and all that good stuff. And then I guess it worked because like 5 minutes later, I get a phone call from Sister Rashida. So here we have our sister. That's a little backdrop of how this all came about. Am I talking to myself again?
No,
we hear you.
I mean,
I know it's a strange show today, but we hear you.
I mean, I was some type of belt or sneeze or something. All right. So, Sister Rashida, a Black woman in civil engineering. How did that happen?
Wow. I was introduced to engineering like in my early teens. So Kasima actually was one of my teachers, my high school science teacher. And I know like when I was younger, the minister was doing his tours around the country at the different colleges and universities. And one of the majors that he spoke about was engineering. And so from that, I kind of piqued the interest in it. And I've always had a passion for architecture, some type of art and design. And so I know I wanted to work with buildings per se, but I wasn't exactly sure I wanted to go into engineering. So after doing a few programs throughout high school around the city, I decided I was kind of at the impasse between architecture and engineering. And I ended up deciding to go for engineering after talking to some professors at my university. And from there, I guess that's just how I got there.
So what was the defining factor between architecture and engineering? I'm just curious.
Well,
because I think both of them are viable areas. So what was it for you that said I would prefer this over that?
They're both very interrelated. And so as a civil engineer, you work a lot with architects. Mm-hmm. And so as I was talking to some professors who were, before I actually decided to apply for my major, they were pretty much telling me that as I go into engineering, you can kind of deal with architecture as well. And so you still see aspects of it. And I was also a little bit unsure about myself in architecture as well, but I've always been good at like science and math. So it kind of geared towards engineering a little bit more. And since then, I mean, I've enjoyed it. So
what are the differences for those of us who have no clue?
Yes, ma'am. So architect mainly designs. There are different types of architects, so they have different aspects of the building that they design. So sometimes they'll do the facade, they'll do like interior finishes and things like that, while the engineer pretty much designs the building in terms of structure and loads, and pretty much making sure that whatever the architect designs is also buildable. So as a civil engineer, whether it's dealing with like transportation related structures or actual like building structures, we pretty much ensure that whatever the architect designs is buildable.
Okay, so the architect is like the visionary who sees it and then puts it on some and makes it visual, mm-hmm. draws it out. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then the engineer is the one who gets more specific with it to ensure that whatever the dream of the architect is, that it can actually be.
Yes. So whenever you see like a really nice building, that's the work of an architect, and the engineer just makes sure it stands. So.
Right. Got it. Awesome. So what is the difference with, I heard you mention the term structural a couple of times. Mm-hmm. So what is the difference between a structural engineer and a civil engineer?
So there's different aspects of engineering, civil engineering per se. So you have geotechnical, which deals mainly with soil. So that deals with like foundations. Soils also have its own component of strength. So testing the strength. You also have, environmental engineering that falls under civil. You have transportation engineering that falls under civil. You have, it's kind of escaping me, structural. And then there's also another one dealing with water and flows. And so those different aspects, and also filtration and cleaning water and stuff like that, which also falls under environmental. So a structural engineer is a sector of a civil engineer. So a specific topic or a specific focus, that's the word, within civil engineering that you can actually focus on building structures. So that does a lot with more like loads, deflection, pretty much like that. The structural engineer allows, or pretty much is behind any building design, any type of transportation, any bridge that you're going over, any building, like any type of structure. A structural engineer has something to do with that, because in order for it to stand, they have to make sure that the loads are right, so that if any type of load like wind or snow or earthquake or something like that, it doesn't cause the building to collapse. So behind any building is a structural engineer. And then there's also like a geotechnical engineer who's involved with the soil mechanics of the building. So they did a lot with the foundations, or making sure that the soil is suitable for the foundation of that building. And then you also have geotechnical engineers who focus on remediation, which is basically cleaning the soil. So if there's soils that's contaminated, they'll go and they'll cleanse it up. So you just have different sectors of civil engineering that pretty much make up the broader focus.
Sounds fascinating. Anyone else have questions for our dear sister on civil?
Oh, yes, it is absolutely fascinating. So, Sister Rashida, in your studies, I'm sure at the beginning of your engineering pursuit, you probably get a taste of all of these different aspects of engineering.
Yes, sir.
How does one narrow it down? And say, like, if there's students who are listening, high school or middle school students who are listening and they're thinking about pursuing a career in engineering, what are some of the studies that you would suggest they do? Some events that they attend or anything like that to help narrow down the focus of what they would like to do?
I would say the best way to do it is through experience. Sometimes in your classes, like you'll see classes that you like and that you don't like, classes that you're interested in, that you're not interested in. I guess it goes with like any major, whatever you're studying in school, or just in general in life, like things that you're interested in will attract you. You'll be a lot happier doing it. Also experience, because I know even like being in my career now, a lot of what I learned in school isn't exactly what I'm doing. And so a lot of what you'll actually be doing in the industry is a lot more applicable and a lot more hands-on than what you're doing in class. So I would definitely say go and get internships, be as active as you can. If you can do any type of volunteer work related to it, go visit a job site. Because right now I'm in construction, and construction in itself is almost a different industry from civil engineering. So we work with civil engineers and structural engineers and geotechnical engineers. However, we're not designing the building, we're just making sure it gets built. So the best way to, I guess, figure out what you like or what your passion is just by going out, finding avenues to obtain, I guess, a little more knowledge and a little more hands-on experience so that you're able to find out what you're interested in.
Fantastic. Would you say NSBE is one of those organizations to help you do that?
Yes, I would say NSBE is actually very helpful with that. It's a great network of engineers in general who are, a lot of them are in the industry, so you can also talk to them. I know I've gotten some mentors from NSBE. They also have career fairs, which allows you to go out and kind of talk to those recruiters so that you can get that experience and can get those internships so that when you do go into engineering or whatever field you decide to go into, that you're...
Fantastic. There is another organization, I'm not sure if you've heard of them, or if you're aware of them rather. It's called the Black Engineer of the Year Awards. Mm-hmm. They have a huge conference in Washington, D.C. every February. This year would be their 33rd anniversary, I believe. And we happen to have had the conference managers of... it's called BEA for short on, but they're also the conference managers for NSBE. And both of these organizations I see, I am involved with the Black Engineer of the Year Awards conference, and they bring in about 3,000 to 4,000 students every year, yes, high school students, to give them, number one, they get a chance to touch real live Black engineers. Mm-hmm. In every discipline of engineering known to mankind. So I think that's a dynamic way, as you're saying. Those of you who are watching, you have children, or you know some children who say they want to be an engineer. Now you have a couple of outlets to send them to so they can get hands-on, or at least begin to interview people or talk to people who are doing what they say they want to do. And one other quick point about what you said, Sister Rashida. I remember Minister Farrakhan said, we need engineers to build a world. Mm-hmm. So I know from us, it's definitely a delight to see so many, and I say so many because I didn't realize it was as many of you all engineers among us as there are. And it's definitely a pleasure to see that. So, but specifically being a Black female in a world that is dominated not by Black females, what are some of the challenges that you saw in school and now in your profession?
Challenges, I guess it's kind of knowing who you are and how you fit in a world or in an environment that doesn't necessarily seem as, I guess, in conformist, or like it's not exactly, you're not around, like being in school. Sometimes I was like the only Black female in my class. It was maybe like two of us that was in the same year at the time. And so it was kind of like, it wasn't, to an extent, I felt like I went through the imposter syndrome, which is basically like when you kind of feel like you don't fit in or you kind of feel a little bit isolated, so you kind of retreat to yourself. And from then, I guess I had to kind of like come out of that, and through like organizations like NESB and even just like making friends and connecting with people in my classes, I was able to get out of that. But I would say in terms of just like being a female in a male-dominated industry in general, and a Black female in a male-dominated industry, it's just kind of knowing who you are and where you fit in, and being assertive of yourself and confident in yourself and knowing why you're there. And as long as you have that idea of why you're there, then you can pretty much do anything and excel. Because even like where I am right now, like I've seen Black females in project manager positions and like higher positions, and it's not that it's impossible to get there, but it's kind of like you're gonna face challenges. Some people aren't gonna believe and you have confidence in you. Some people are gonna kind of slight you, or it's not really about what other people do, what other people think. It's mainly of what you think about yourself and how you take and have the confidence in yourself to kind of excel and make a career for yourself, or just make a pathway for yourself. So.
Wonderful, wonderful. My last question, as I bring on Sister Sandy and Brother Rasool, I'm sure they have questions as well. What was that class in college that almost made you want to say, forget about it? And let me give you a quick backdrop to why I'm asking that. When I came out of school, long time ago, out of high school, I thought I wanted to be an engineer. Mm-hmm. So I decided to major in electrical engineering. Went to Hampton University. They had a 3-2 program with Old Dominion University. But my first year at Hampton, first semester, first year, I had a physics professor. This was a brother who had a double E. He had a PhD with a double E from MIT. So he was a doctorate of electrical engineering from MIT. And he's he's teaching us as 17, 18-year-old college freshmen like we were PhD candidates at, one of these other schools. So that dissuaded me from becoming an engineer. And I chose something easier like mathematics. So what was that class that almost made you say, this is not for me?
I would say one of my harder classes, it was actually a structural class. And we had to kind of analyze the structure or analyze like kind of like a material and like the structural components of it. The name of the class actually escapes me right now, but I actually took that in my senior year along with a couple of other classes. And that class in itself was a little more challenging because I guess the class that I should have taken before was linear algebra, and I did not take it. So I kind of felt a little bit behind, but I guess it was too late to give up because I was already in my senior year. But I've definitely had classes like throughout my academic career that pretty much were difficult and challenged me and made me want to give up or made me not want to pursue my degree. And those classes, yes. I guess I just had to just keep striving, like having a support group and having a support network really helps you kind of get through those things in life. So yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Sister Sandy, Brother Rasool, Sister Sharien.
Well, I definitely have a question because I just think what you have done and what you are doing, beloved, is just so beautiful, so beautiful. So I have a 15-year-old in the 10th grade over here, and I'm always saying to myself, how can we help prepare our children for whatever field they might think that they are going in from a parent's perspective? And for those who are in school now, completing up school, this question is good for them as well while they're in there. How can we help prepare our children when they say, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an engineer, I want to be a lawyer? What can we do? Because I can imagine once you get into school, you really had no idea that this is what it was going to all be about. You find out once you get in there. So what things can we do as parents? That's the first part of my question, to help prepare our children who really have no idea what to expect. But what can we do to help prepare them so that transition can be a little bit easier? That's the first part of my question.
Yes, ma'am. So in terms of like younger children in high school, even like younger elementary school, one of the things that I'm a big advocate for is programming. So if there's any programs that's around in your area that pertains to whatever major, whatever field they want to go into. So if they're interested in being a doctor, some universities actually have programs where they'll bring in like students from like elementary and high school, and they'll actually teach them about medicine or have them do kind of like interactive activities. So a lot of summer camps, they even have like day camps, or just camps in the afternoon that they can go to after school and just get involved in. I would also recommend, just if you know someone who's in that field or in that industry, or even if you don't, reaching out to someone who might be in that industry, and kind of connecting the child with them and allowing them to kind of tour them for a day or kind of like have a conversation with them. Things like that pretty much kind of allow you to kind of see where you want to do if you're interested in something. I know in high school I did a lot of programming, and that kind of like steered me or encouraged me a little bit more into what I wanted to do. And then even like in when I was in college, I did programming, I worked with programming, and a lot of like the students that I actually worked with ended up coming to the same university that I was in, majoring in engineering or some type of STEM field or just field in general. So just getting involved in those programming and just kind of like being involved now instead of waiting until you get to college kind of helps you know where you want to go. And also like being involved now allows you to take advantage of like the opportunities. So one thing that I did when I was in high school is I did dual enrollment. And because I already knew what classes or what major I was going into, I was already able to take certain classes so that when I did transfer into my four-year university once I graduated high school, I already had credits. So kind of like the first, I guess the earlier you kind of know what you want to do, that's the best time to actually start preparing in order to make those steps to when you become or when you get in college. Therefore, like once you get there, you're advancing way ahead of the mark, and you can start making those advancements and start looking forward to your career, even in like your freshman year of college.
Awesome. Okay, and then the second part of my question, and I'm gonna pass it to the next one, Brother Rasool, Sister Sharien. So I have a college age student as well, and there have been many times that he has been discouraged. I mean, it's just sometimes it's just hard, you know. You have life coming at you. You're learning about yourself as a young adult. You have peer pressures. You have friends who maybe started and didn't finish. I mean, it's a whole lot of things. And I don't know if you had to experience some of those same things too while you were in school. What would you say for our young adults who are in school and they find it very difficult to just, complete the dream that they said, that they want to complete, when it seemed like everybody else is doing something other than what it is that you're doing? So what can you share with reference to that?
I mean, I would say like college in itself is it can be a challenging environment. Like there's been times where I've literally cried just because of like my homework and the stress. And like there's a lot of like stuff going on outside of school. Like you have life, you have your friends, you want to kind of like have a social life while also trying to keep your grades up. And then sometimes you might not do as well as you wish you would have done, and you have to, face the embarrassment of it sometimes. So college in itself is a very stressful environment. Like, yeah, it can be a stressful environment. So when you're going through it, I guess knowing what you really want and kind of looking forward to it and having people who can encourage you along the journey. So while it's also good to have your friends like you can chill with, having those friends who are pretty much like goal oriented, and if you guys can come together and pretty much go for that goal or go towards achieving that goal. Just having a support network. I know, like, even like, and I keep saying Nesby because Nesby helped me a lot throughout school, but a lot of us pretty much were like together. We studied together and we kind of did some social activities together. And so just having that group of people who are also have the same mindset as you helps you go a longer way than kind of taking it on alone. And then also knowing that if that's something you really, really, really want to do, then just look at the end goal instead of like where you are right now.
Thank you so much. So in other words, it's okay to cry sometimes if you need to. Just keep it moving. I love it. Thank you so much. Please hang around. We're going to bring up our next guest. Brother Jahi, are you in place to bring up our next guest? Who's bringing up our next guest? All righty. If I knew who was coming up next, I would bring up the next guest. I am not familiar with who's coming up. Let's see who we have on the line. Let's see. That's the beautiful part, y'all, about having multiple partners. Multiple partners. Oh, okay. So I don't think I have. Let's see. Let's see who's on the line. We need to bring in. I see we have
I'm bringing
Kasima.
in Sister Kasima.
Okay, good deal. Do you have her information there with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Praise be to Allah. Yes,
I love
teamwork makes the dream work. Yay!
Praise be to Allah. Sister Kasima, also known as Sister Soul Sister Scientist, was born in the Philadelphia area. She is the eldest of four and thankful for her parents who came into the nation of Islam a few months after she was born. Her three industrious brothers, Saladin, Shahid, and Jalil, along with Saladin, I guess Shahid and Jalil. Since the age of 6 years old, she knew that she wanted to be a scientist. Beautiful. Life happened, and her goals took a route while she raised two beautiful, gifted daughters, Akima and Shahida. Akima is CEET, a set architect, I guess that is. And Shahida is a freelance journalist and English teacher residing in Medellin, Colombia. Sister Kasima is also a proud grandmother of four grandchildren, Ajani, Assad, Azaria, and Anas. A Drexel University alumni, she received a BS in chemical engineering and credits Drexel's cooperative education program for allowing her to gain experience in the industry. While she was preparing to work in research and development at one of the area chemical companies, Sister Kasima received a request to serve at Muhammad University of Islam in Chicago as head of the science department. All praises due to Allah. It was a no-brainer. Instantaneously, Sister Kasima agreed and instructs earth science, chemistry, physics, and astrophysics classes. She is currently working on a master's in engineering management and desires to re-enter the industry and help communities with water issues, similar to Flint, Michigan. She also is a member of the National Society of Black Engineers and Society of Women Engineers. Let's welcome our dear sister, Sister Kasimi Muhammad. Is she there? I promoted her, but I don't see her. Did she fall off? She may have fallen off. So inshallah, she will call back on. I just promoted her into the panel, but I do not see her. Let's see. I don't see her here. So inshallah, she will come back in, Sister Sandy. So while we are waiting for her.
Do we have anybody else to come up next, or is she our last guest?
She was the next guest. Okay. And then Brother Ken and Brother Tommy was.
Well, let's bring them in if they're on the line.
They are. So we will bring them in. I am looking for Brother Ken. Okay, here we go. Okay, I was looking for Brother Ken's very lengthy bio.
Yes.
I told Brother Jahi he's gonna have to cut Brother Ken's bio short because Brother Ken's bio was just so long. Like I was just like, wow, I don't know how we gonna get through this bio in one show, Brother Ken.
Brother Ken Hilliard.
I'm gonna do my very best to read this bio so that you can have a just of who our dear brother is. Our brother Ken is primarily an IT pro and networking infrastructure and cyber security. Currently develops AHA services, a co-op communications and security company in Atlanta. Recently developed and managed the establishment of Cafe Ulu, an internet coffee house in Southwest Atlanta. Welcome, my dear brother Ken Hilliard Muhammad. Welcome,
I like to add just a tad bit more to Brother Ken because, you know, just from meeting him, I understand, Brother Ken, you're not here on Sylvan Road anymore. Is that true?
He has moved on to bigger and better things.
No,
he has an IT company, Sister Sandy.
Oh my God. Yes. Okay, listen. Brother Ken is the smiling face that you would see at the Ulu Cafe over here in my neck of the woods. He was the barista. He was the chef. He was the all around everything. He ran the place. I tell you, and he even offered my lovely daughter an opportunity to come up there and train. Brother Ken, she got nervous. I don't know what it was. She got nervous. She was like, I don't know if I can do it. Well, maybe next time. We appreciate you being on the show, Brother Ken, because we know you are a busy individual, a business owner, an entrepreneur, and so much more, an organizational structure of organization. So we are so grateful to have you on the show today. Welcome.
Thank you. Y'all are too kind.
Oh, and also for allowing our business partner to broadcast almost every Monday out of your location and have you there later than what you were supposed to be there. So we are tremendously. Brother Ken would always say, no, brother, go ahead. Go right ahead. Do your show. We are so grateful for you, Brother Ken.
Yeah, most certainly. Yeah. Not a problem at all. Always willing to.
You sounded very low. We can hardly hear you, sir. You know, I was telling them that you were a man of so many words. You know, I was trying to condense those 3 sentences, and, you know, down. A lot of times we get bios. Sometimes there's 3 pages of a bio. Like we get a book, but you gave us 3 sentences that said exactly what you do. So I was just playing around with you. But we can hardly hear you, so I don't know how we can get the mic closer to you to hear you. Is it just me, Sister Sandy? Can you hear him?
I can hear him. It does sound. I mean, we just loud, Brother Ken. I think that's all that is. We just kind of loud. We get so excited on the show, and then when everybody else come on, it's like they're like nice and humble and what have you. We can hear you. It's just a little low compared to our volume.
Okay, let's see.
Well, because the voice activation is not picking them up. So more.
Oh, I see.
Right. Yes, ma'am.
Is that a little bit better?
Yes, sir. That is a little bit better.
If the box does not light around your face, that means that the computer is not hearing you.
Oh, okay. Let's see. All right. Let's see.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think that's better. I can see it.
Yes.
All right, but yeah, thanks for having us again. Like I said, I brought one of my business partners, Tommy Bourdain, online with me this time, and like I said, is the shortened version of the bio would indicate as far as our work with AHA Services now. It's an IT company where we do alarms, we do IT work, we do maintenance closets as far as setting up everything as far as the routers, switches, modems, small businesses. We got a lot of stuff going on in Atlanta, and we're also looking to expand and do some hiring hopefully later on. And like I said, we're moving forward, and like I said, we can't let any moss grow up under our feet. We got much too much work to do.
Excellent. So explain to us what is the cybersecurity in terms of what you all are doing. How can we benefit from those services?
Well, cybersecurity now is becoming integral part of everyone's computer networks now. It's like, with the recent hacks just a couple of days ago, with the whole all these counties in Texas, about 21 counties were infected with ransomware, and so that's a real hot issue. And you get hit with ransomware, and a lot of people are like Atlanta, they only ask for $55,000, but
Wow.
they took the victim role, and they didn't want to ante up. The 55,000 end up being 20 million so far.
Wow.
Yeah. So cybersecurity is going to be an integral. If you have a small business, somebody can just send you an email. One of your employees can click on a link in that email saying, for instance, we get them every day. If you look in your email, your spam folder, it'll say, hey, I'm your uncle from Nigeria, or I'm some guy.
Yeah.
I got $1 million and I need to transfer the money over in order to collect the money. And can I use your bank account? Or, hey, this is Wells Fargo, which may be who you bank with. Oh, we need you to update your information. Click this link. You click the link. It looks legitimate. It has Wells Fargo's logo and everything. And next thing you know, you're downloading, unbeknownst to you in the background, malware and ransomware is starting to download to your computer, encrypt all your files, and then you'll probably get an email next time or within a few seconds that'll say all your files will be encrypted and you need to send 55 or whatever amount of money in Bitcoin to this email address, and we'll give you the encryption key. So with that, all your files, your
So
customer
they must know not to encrypt nobody who don't have any Bitcoins, huh?
No, because they'll tell you go to the closest currency exchange, wire the money to us if you want to have access back to your important information.
Oh, there's nothing in there. So let me pause of that.
They're getting a little worse about it now, because now they're saying, we're not going to give you time. You have 5 days, or you have 12 hours.
So it's like a ransom.
Yeah, the ransom. You don't pay the ransom in that amount of time, then all your files are gone forever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let me ask you a question, Brother Ken. And you said your partner is your partner sitting there with you, or did he call in as well?
He should be calling in. It should be Tommy Bourdain. Should be calling in.
Okay, as soon as he come in, Sister Sharien will bring him up if he comes in so that he can join this conversation. You may want to text him too while we're on the air to make sure that he's aware that we have you on. I just think, this is modern day stick ups. You know how they used to go in and stick up the bank and take all your money, all the money that was in the cowboy town, go and stick up the bank. This is how they sticking up now. They don't care nothing about the dollar bill as much. It's the not encouraging nobody to go and stick up a bank. However, that's the old way of espionage, or the way of robbing people. That's the old way. Now data is in the cloud. Okay, you got to explain this to me. Oh yeah, Brother Jahi, you back in. I know you want to say something about our brother Ken, but I just wanted to say this. Data is in the cloud. Where in the world is the cloud, Brother Ken? I can't figure out where the cloud is. Almost like heaven. And listen, for anybody that believe in heaven and hell, please forgive me. Let me just tell you right now, I'm not saying anything about nobody's religious belief. However, where is the cloud? Can you please tell me where the cloud is?
Oh, sure.
Or cyberspace.
Cyberspace? Well, those are two different locations, actually. So if you think in your abstract mind a little bit, but we can bring it down to the physical. So cyberspace is basically the internet. Pretty simple. Anything you can get online through an internet connection, people's web pages, everything pretty much. Now, when we talk about the cloud is pretty simple. The cloud is the cloud is basically the internet too, but they're distributed data centers all over the world, right? So you have multiple connections. And let's say you have one, let's say we're a worldwide company and we have people who use our service to have their web pages, a lot of people do this for their web pages. So we'll have a data center in Texas, a data center in New York, data center in Wisconsin, data center in Switzerland, Africa, South America, somewhere like that. And these are all disaster recovery zones. So let's say if Texas, America gets hit with a huge, environmental disaster, all your data is being backed up in South America, Africa, Switzerland, and those other places. So you don't lose nothing. And no matter where you go in the world, you plug in or you get on the Wi-Fi, you type in user ID and password, you have access to that data, no matter where you are in the world. So that's the cloud. Anywhere else, the cloud is like, okay, other, I guess, adaptations of the cloud, previous versions were like thumb drives, external hard drives, those big old drives you carry a terabyte drive around, a 2 terabyte drive.
I got one right here. I'm gonna show it to you. I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm old school, Brother Ken. I gotta have mine right in my hip pocket. Lord knows, and I pray don't nobody rob me because I'm old. I was over with. Yep. Brother Jahi, come on into this conversation because I know you got something for Brother Ken.
One quick thing before Brother Jahi starts. I just got one tip. One huge tip to keep you, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You're coming through loud and clear.
If you can hear me, one tip, everybody, if you want to help yourself guard against your files being encrypted or something like that online, do regular backups on your computer and of your data. And before you plug into a network, especially an unsecured network, make sure you not plug in with any of your hard drives in your computer, because if you're on that network, it gets in your computer, you download to your hard drive, it's going to infect everything you connect to. So just do regular backups. If they encrypt your files, you may lose 2-3 days, a week's worth of work, but you'll be back up and running in no time.
Back up to what, Brother Ken? You got to speak clear English to us because this is my backup. You see this little thing right here? Yeah. What do we back up to? Are you saying back up to the cloud or back up to something like this? What are you saying back up to?
Either or. I would say back up to your external hard drive, but be very, very careful about what you connect your external hard drive to while you're uploading information. And I wouldn't use it very much, once a month or so, connect it, update your files on the hard drive, disconnect it, set it aside, and work from your computer or work from other thumb drives. And then, or you can back up to the cloud if you want to pay for a storage fee based on the amount of storage you use. There's some reliable services out there that you can back up to online, and it's even better. That way you don't have to carry that physical drive around with you, because if something really, really happens and you have to, head out of Dodge, jump on a plane, use that passport one last time.
I got everything with me. If I don't have nothing else, I'm going to carry this everywhere I go, right?
There you go. There you go. All right, brother.
Thank you so much. All yours, Brother Jahi, Sister Sharien, Brother Rasool.
Yes, thank you, Brother Ken. Your conversation is way above my pay grade, so I would not even attempt to talk computer IT language with you, but I thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to be with us, because I wanted you to talk about you and Brother Tommy, and hopefully he can make it on. But you all started a business, AHA Consulting. And the things that you're talking about, like with the cybersecurity and other aspects of technology, it sounds to me that if there are any business people that are listening, are there any city governments that are listening, they need to contact you all. And I saw some articles recently that it's not just big cities that they're targeting, those that are in the cyber anti-security world. We know Atlanta got ambushed and held for ransom last year. Baltimore got held up for ransom recently, but they are hitting smaller cities too, smaller towns who may not think that they need that type of security. So how do they get in contact with you all? It seems like now is the time to take care of that that security aspect, instead of waiting till someone infiltrates your system. Now you got to pay them $50,000 in bitcoins, which I didn't understand that one. But how do they get in contact with you?
Sure, they can reach us. We have a up and just a quick correction. We didn't begin AHA services. We're actually kind of the second iteration of it because
Oh, fantastic.
yeah. So Ron Pullen, he began the company back in 1998. He was doing alarm and low voltage work and doing home automation, speakers, audio systems, televisions. And within the last about 2017, I met Ron. I'm not sure Tommy met Ron maybe a few years before that. And as I got involved with the co-op community, I was really interested in joining an IT co-op because that was my background and I wanted a larger stake in, the work I did. And, if you look up co-ops and their background and kind of how they operate in general sense. So we are kind of taking it to the next level because Ron is saying, he's ready to retire. He wants to either, he was thinking about closing the company. And we're saying this is a great opportunity for us. We're a little bit younger. We can put another 20 years in on the company and grow it hopefully to or grow it to $1 million and hopefully even $1 billion company. Because there's always a need for the services that we provide. And like I say, you can get a hold to us by going to ahaservices.net. So it's AHA services. So Alpha Hotel Alpha Services with an S, all spelled out, .net. And that'll give you our most current website and information to contact us. We're heavy into the churches right now and the religious, um, um, faith-based institutions because we know, unfortunately, through a lot of coaxing from political um, speakerheads that there's it's rustling up this racist and emboldening these racists to go in and attack our people in the places of worship. So it's even more important for our places of worship to be secure. We've done several churches in the Atlanta area with cameras, 26 cameras, 30 cameras, doorbells, door locks, emergency exits, and all the bells and whistles. And especially you have your children in nurseries or at the schools at a lot of our churches. We want to make sure that they're secure and that if something does happen, that you're notified right away so that you know what to do.
Absolutely fantastic, and you're right. Those institutions that you named are definitely ones that have to pay more attention to those services that you all are talking about offering. And also, I'm thinking for a small business, uh, a micro business, a solopreneur, what advice would you offer to those of us who may be thinking, well, I can't afford to implement those type of or certain security measures right now. As I grow, then I'll look at doing that. What would you say to someone who says that? Who says that?
We always work with our customers and can customize a solution based on your area of vulnerability. So if you just have, we can come in on the basic level. We can do employee education, and we can just come in and let your employees know what to look for, or your management staff know what to look for, and when something happens, what to do. Um, because you have maybe a few precious moments when somebody discovers, and hopefully they tell you when it happens, uh, where you can maybe safeguard your servers. Outside of that, you have a precious few moments to do that. So we can give you hints, give you tips, make you more vigilant. We can plug you into our new cybersecurity newsletter, and that'll give your company hints and tips. And we can also speak with, and we can act as your network administrator. If no one is you don't have anybody looking over your network, it doesn't cost much, you know, basically to have us do break fix. So something happens, you give us a call, send us an email. We can dispatch within 24 hours, maybe even 12 hours, depending on where you're located. And then but we would at least give you a call within 2 hours to assess the situation and say, okay, what are you experiencing? What's going on? What can we do to help right away? And then, so those services are pretty nominal. Education is one of the most overlooked and the most largest areas of vulnerability, because your employees, you trust them with your information because they're making money for you, but they don't always make the best decisions. Sometimes they're on social media a little bit more. Sometimes they're, surfing the web, paying bills, and email and stuff. You can't avoid that stuff. That's just part of what you have to go through as a business owner. But you can reduce your
Minimize it. You can minimize it though.
yeah, you can minimize your exposure by those things that they do with educating. If they're more vigilant, if they're more educated, then they can keep you from being, having an embarrassing or an expensive issue happen.
Right. Sister Rashida, Brother Rasool, do y'all have questions for Ken or before we close out?
Oh, yes, sir. Just had one question. So for somebody who's, I guess, interested in IT and wants to start off, what would be a suggestion, or what would be the first steps in kind of like, I guess, starting yourself off in a career in IT, learning it, and then possibly making it into a business or, like I said, a career or something like that?
Great question, great. And it's great work, young lady. I look up to you, and I'm my uncle, and actually I come from a family of civil engineers. My uncle's a civil engineer, and one of my cousins is a civil engineer as well. So hats off to you, and much success in your endeavor. So to answer your question, there's a lot of different entries into IT, which makes it ideal for our people because it's a viable um, industry, meaning that it's going to go very far. It's not going away anytime soon. Even the smallest of companies, if you have a nice niche, then you can really focus on that niche and grow it. And whether that niche be, you know, um, small restaurants or mom and pop restaurants, cafes, or we do doctor's offices or dentist offices. You can find a niche anywhere, plug into it, and that niche can be exploited, or it can be taken advantage of by just your knowledge and your network, like your net worth. So there's some programs like at Atlanta Technical College, one particular program called Year Up, and it's a very interesting program that is highly sought after. And these students are given a stipend every month, and they graduate from the program. It's about a year long. They graduate with industry certification, so they'll come out of there with an A+ certification from CompTIA, or they'll come out with a Net Plus or a Security Plus from CompTIA, or something like that, and it's paid for through whatever program, whatever grants, and it's a nationwide program as well. But it's currently located down, and they have a building downtown, as well as their one of their satellite offices is at Atlanta Metropolitan College right there at Southwest Atlanta. So you can get into that program for, pretty much there is no cost. You just have to meet their requirements. Once you finish, you'll have a industry certification. And we just interviewed about several gentlemen about 3 weeks ago when they had a career fair. So like 90% of their graduates uh, get jobs within the industry, making a livable wage, and that's what Year Up is all about. Achieving a livable wage so that you're not awarded the state of some sort. So that's one way. Obviously, the education around college, or you can just go, if you think you're pretty sharp, pick up a few books at the library, or a few textbooks online. Some Cisco networking book, network fundamentals, or some cybersecurity fundamentals books. Read online, and if you read enough of those and understand the lingo and the language, and get a little bit more in depth, you got to get hands on with it though. So I would suggest, uh, getting maybe some old equipment, old routers, old modems, old switches, putting them together. I mean, I think pretty much every serious IT guy has a lab in his house where you can, plug in a disk, find out what's going on, simulate an operating system, crash it, restart it, and then, and figure out what's wrong with it and how to fix it. Same thing, even all the way down to printers, setting up printers, drivers, and stuff like that. So there's a multitude of ways. You just kind of look around, and also there are some programs in Workforce Atlanta. Workforce Atlanta, they have a technology program where if you qualify, they will cover your education and your testing to get that certification. So IT is all about basically certifications, not necessarily the degree, the BS or the BA that you achieve in college, because they're generally 2-3 years behind the industry.
Yes.
Wow, thank you for that. Sister Rashida, Brother Ken, and Brother Rasool, have you all heard of this young brother by the name of Idris Sandu?
Hmm. What do you-
Idris Sandu. Idris Sandu, you all have heard of the Marathon clothing store, right?
Yes.
The store that our brother Nipsey Hussle owned out in Ken's old neck of the woods, old stomping grounds, Los Angeles.
Yes, sir.
The Marathon clothing store is all technology. He has the video embedded in the t-shirts, so you scan the bar on the t-shirts, and you can play a video, that one of Nipsey Hussle's videos. Well, that whole technology was developed by a young brother named Idris Sandu. He's 22 years old. He's self-taught. He taught himself how to code and all of these do infrastructure setup, starting at the age of like 12. At the age of 13, this is a young brother. At the age of 13, he was hired by Google. Google hired him. So he's worked for all of these major technology firms in California. But his mindset is that he wants to build, he not wants to, he is working on his own infrastructure. He say he got the offers to MIT to go to college and all that good stuff, but he refused because he said he would have been co-opted. They would have co-opted him. He has a whole nother mindset. So to that point, Ken, about getting the books, that's how Nipsey Hussle met him. Met him in a Starbucks. Well, he said he never goes to Starbucks, but met him in a Starbucks. He was studying. He was working on some coding then. He got his job at Google because he was, I think he was in a Starbucks again, which he said he doesn't drink the coffee or nothing like that, but he was working on something, had these books out, and this guy saw him reading these, high-tech type books. And next they get into a conversation. Next thing you know, this guy was a high-ranking official with Google, and they hire him at the age of 13.
Nice.
So the brilliance, I can't stress this enough. So hopefully those of you who are watching this podcast, that you would share it, the brilliance that we have among us, and Sister Rashida, a brother Rasool, a brother Ken, brother Elijah. We had brother Elijah on 2 weeks ago. He's an architect working for a major company in Chicago. Elijah Muhammad working for an architect, a big architect firm in Chicago. So many others that we have the opportunity to meet, to come across, that are doing magnificent things. So that brother, look him up, Idris Sandu, absolutely phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. But he's self-taught. That's the point I wanted to stress. Brother Rasool, any closing words?
Yes, I just wanted to share, and brother, we definitely need to meet and speak, because you're all around my alley with that, especially with the dealing with the CompTIA and the A plus and Net plus certifications, because I know Europe, they work with a lot of youth, and that's excellent. We actually partner with them, but the adults have a hard time sometimes to get into these programs. For workforce development, they may get in, and workforce development may send them somewhere else. They might see something that's nice or might seem easy, but with this course, this is something that's very necessary in a high demand field. And so we actually link them to IT training. I actually mentioned it earlier before you came on, IT training, and we get them through their workforce development, to help them qualify to get to receive that particular type of training for free. And last thing, I want to also speak to you because you mentioned that you're looking to hire some individuals, and we definitely need to speak on that because we have a pool of some individuals that might interest you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I have your email address, or I'll go. Let me see. Did I get your? I think I did take a note with your email address. Yeah, I did. So I'll send you an email, bro, before I get off line right now tonight. 'Cause I got a few things to do, and we are always open. The nation, we are more than that's our pool of people. That's what we want. IT is a very unique field where the knowledge that you hold, you can get the tools anywhere, but the real tool is in your mind, and you can adapt that tool to any border, any shore, any nation, anywhere. As long as you have an internet connection, you can pretty much, that's going to be standard pretty much anywhere in the world you're going to go soon, especially with the advent of 5G. So yeah, absolutely. And I also want to mention one other thing, free code camp. If you want to get into coding, if you want to start coding all the new codes and for mobile apps and things like that, it's a lot of work. They have a structured program that you can go through that takes, I think I broke it down. It can, if you're dedicated, you do maybe like 2 hours a day, you can probably get through that program in about a year. And then you'll be coding, some of the more sought after languages, and you can be just sitting in Starbucks and pick up you an $80,000-$90,000 job.
Yeah. For 16 weeks too.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you all so much. Sister Rashida, closing words. And for those who are watching and they are interested in pursuing the engineering field and they would like to reach out to you, what's the best way for them to reach you?
I would say the best way to reach me is probably email.
Okay.
Email is rmuhamm2@gmail.com. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out.
All right. And we know you're from Chicago, so slow it down a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
Repeat that email address one more time.
It's rmuhamm2@gmail.com.
Wonderful. Thank you so much again for taking the time out of your busy schedule. We're honored with the information that you share with us. Thank you so much. I know your parents will be proud. I know they are proud, not will be. I know they are.
Yes,
are proud of your accomplishments. Brother Rasool, again, how do those who are listening and they understand that they can take a short-term program and begin to get into a field that begins to pay a livable wage, how do they contact you again?
They can contact me either through the website or directly at Rasool@globalapprenticeship.org. Once again, that's Rasool@globalapprenticeship.org. And we can get them tied into some training, also some positions. IT, 16 weeks, and you can get started working, like you said, making about $80,000 a year or more.
All right. And Brother Ken?
Hilliard.
So repeat that again, Brother Ken. Your first part didn't come through.
Okay. It's you can reach me at KEN dot Hilliard HILLIARD at AHA services, all spelled out with an S, .net. That's my direct email address. Feel free to send me anything, and I usually respond within about 24 hours.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much. And Sister Sandy, I'm going to sign off now. Those men, 16 years of age or older, you can meet us at Muhammad Mosque number 15, right now, 3642 Camilton Road. We have a open community FOI class. Please come out and join your brothers to learn how to make your neighborhoods a safe and decent place to live. Thank you all so much for this broadcast. Make sure you reach out, listen to the podcast, like it if you like it. Make your comments, share it, and subscribe. We're still on our Project 1000. We're looking for 1,000 subscribers by September the 13th, 2019. And if you read the comment section, not the comment, but if you read the description, we have a bonus in there for those of you who read. There's a bonus. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You just got to read the description section of the last 4 podcasts. You go to our YouTube channel, Mind and Money Matters Live Show. We have a bonus in there for you. If you follow those directions, you can receive a complimentary, but you got to read it. I'm just leave it like that. So I'm out. Sister Sandy, Sister Sharien, y'all can close us out. Thank you all for holding it down, pulling this thing together as usual. Sister, I think, who was it, Sandy or Sharien mentioned earlier about the number of shows we've done. We've interviewed close to 450 people so far in the 3.5 years that Allah has blessed us to do this program. Over close to 350 people. What was it, 350 or 350, I believe it is. A little over 350, I believe it is. I got to go back, but that's the last time that I checked. So we definitely
last time I checked.
Last time, yeah. That Nipsey Hussle, y'all got better go listen, look it up. Last time that I checked, and all brilliant. Every last one of them have been super brilliant. So it has increased our knowledge base. So with saying that, I'm out, and we look forward to seeing you all next week. We're going to be honored, inshallah, with the presence of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in the city of Atlanta this weekend on Saturday for the memorial of our brother Abdul Rahman Akil Muhammad. The janazah was a few months ago, as Sister Sandy said, but Minister Farrakhan said we mourn for 40 days, then we come back, and then there will be testimonies of how he affected, the Minister Rahman affected hundreds of thousands of lives. So please come out to 3642 Camilton Road on Saturday. You want to get there early. You may want to camp out Friday night because it's going to be, we have a big space. However, it's not big enough to hold the city. So, but Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, we are expecting him to be in the city this weekend. So we now on Monday, all of us going to be lit. We're going to be glowing. All of us going to be glowing. And we may not be touching the ground either. Because but just tune back in next Monday. We kick off this month of September with the Ministry of Health and Human Services. The Ministry of Health and Human Services starting next Monday. So please listen, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Jahi, Mr. Communicator Muhammad, and I'm out. Assalamu alaikum.
Wow.
I just wanted to say, Sister Rashida, I did speak with your instructress, Sister Kasemi, and she sends you the greetings. She's so proud of you. She was on the whole time while you were on. And
go ahead and close us out, Sister Sharien.
As soon as I was bringing her in, she dropped. So and I was working behind the scenes, trying to get her back on. So inshallah, she'll come on next week with Health and Human Services with one of her other students and some other sisters that you may be familiar with. That will be on representing the Ministry of Health and Human Services. So thank you so much for your contribution, your brilliant answers to our questions. One last thing I wanted to say is when you were answering the questions that had to deal with obstacles and difficulties, it sounded like to me, and by your facial expression, that what you did is that you saw them as opportunities and you seized the moment and you met and overcame all obstacles. We are so proud of you, and we look forward to the great things that you will do with your education.
Thank you.
Praise be to Allah. That's all I had to say. Anyone else? You want to close out, Sister Sandy? You want me to close it out? So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for Mind and Money Matters live show. We look forward to seeing you next week. Inshallah, with the Ministry of Health and Human Services. Thank you so much, Brother and Hilliard. Thank you so much, Brother Rasool Muhammad, for gracing us with your presence as the MC of the Ministry of Science and Technology. And we are going into Health and Human Services. Salaam Alaikum.